We'll be getting these tests to Americans for free. And we'll have websites where you can get them delivered to your home.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Whitney is off today. President Joe Biden addressed the nation today on the quickly spreading Omicron variant of the country's response to it. The president is encouraging Americans to take necessary precautions as Omicron threatens holiday plans.
We all want this to be over, but we're still in it. And this is a critical moment. We also have more tools than we ever had before.
Biden announced that he has ordered the military to have medical personnel ready to help hospitals overrun with new cases. The government is expanding its vaccination program to include pop-up locations. It's also expanding its testing program by adding federal testing sites and purchasing a $500 million at-home rapid test to send to Americans for free starting in January.
You're going to be reading about breakthrough infections because this virus is extremely good at transmitting from person to person. But vaccination and boosting clearly is the answer to protecting yourself.
The administration's health experts say testing and wearing masks around strangers are ways to protect yourself with travel and family gatherings ramping up this week. The experts say loved ones can safely get together if everyone is vaccinated and boosted. Officials say the first known death from the Omicron variant in the U.S. claimed the life of an unvaccinated person in Houston, Texas.
Meanwhile, data from the CDC shows that unvaccinated individuals are 8 times more likely to be hospitalized and 14 times more likely to die from COVID-19. As we mentioned, Omicron is now the dominant strain in the United States. It now makes up 73% of new cases. In the last 7 days, there have been nearly 930,000 new COVID cases. More than 204 million eligible Americans are now fully vaccinated. That's just over 65% of those eligible, but less than a third of the eligible people have gotten the booster shots. And the FDA is expected to authorize COVID-19 treatment pills from both Pfizer and Merck as early as tomorrow. That according to Bloomberg News, who cited people familiar with the matter. Merck's pill was narrowly authorized by a panel of advisors to the FDA on November 30th. In a clinical trial of high-risk individuals early in their illness, the Merck pill was shown to reduce hospitalizations and deaths by about 30%. Meanwhile, Pfizer's pill showed nearly 90% efficacy in preventing hospitalizations and deaths in high-risk patients. The U.S. has a contract to buy as many as 5 million courses of Merck's drug and 10 million of Pfizer's.
So what do we know about Omicron here in Washington? State health officials held a briefing today right before President Biden's announcement. The big takeaway from today's briefing is this pandemic is far from over, and Omicron is a reminder of just that. State health officials point out while Omicron is the prominent variant nationwide, it's not yet the most dominant one in Washington state. Delta still reigns. However, that could change. Washington's top public health official, Dr. Umar Shah, says there is no single easy answer to whether you should cancel holiday gatherings. He says people have the power to make their own choices based on what's available to protect us, such as vaccines that reduce chances of severe illness and boosters to further offer protection.
Where you make a decision, whether it's to go out to eat or whether it's to go into a park, whether it's going to the movies, whether it's going to a sporting event, there are things you can do to reduce your risk. And it is up to us to do that.
Now, throwing a wrench into all of this is the flu. The health department noted today that influenza is officially popping up in Washington, which could further strain an already stressed hospital system.
Well, there's a lot going on in the world of health. For the latest headlines related to the coronavirus and Omicron variant, both nationally and in our state, all you need to do is text the word COVID to 509-448-2000. We'll send that information straight to your phone.
Let's switch gears for a moment and talk weather, shall we? Taking a live look right now on Snoqualmie Pass at this hour. As you can see, pretty snowy on the sides of the road. The freeway there looks pretty clear from this vantage point. Just a reminder, you are required to carry chains over the mountain passes, even if you don't need to put them on. That includes all-wheel and four-wheel drive vehicles. Washington State Patrol has been out making sure drivers have them. If you're not prepared, if you don't have those chains, you could face a fine of $503. It is the week of Christmas, which means travel will ramp up as we get closer to Saturday. So, Tom, what kind of weather can folks expect on the passes if they're traveling for the holidays?
I think they're going to expect snow. I think we've got snow on the way. I think we're on the way towards a white Christmas. And not only snow in the passes, could get snow in the lower elevations as well. Right now we're at 24 degrees. This time tomorrow, we may be sitting at around 40 degrees. We've got a brief warm up expected on Wednesday. We'll talk more about that in a few moments. Right now, the Doppler radar, as you can see, looking very quiet across the area. Day planner forecast calling for snow to develop late tonight in the overnight hours with a low of about 28 degrees. And then we'll see maybe a little morning snow, but by, say, this time tomorrow or dinner time on Wednesday, we'll look for rain to fall in many of the lower elevations as we shoot for a daytime high of 41 degrees. Looking ahead to Christmas weekend, I've got chance of snow showers, about a 50% chance of snow on Christmas Day and a high of 35. Colder on Sunday, down to about 20 for the overnight low. Also a chance of snow on Sunday, too.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Still ahead tonight, a family in the valley now displaced after a house fire. Why the Spokane Valley Fire Department says their holiday lights were to blame.
Plus, we're telling you the common ways that decorations can turn dangerous. We're talking holiday decoration safety coming up after the break.